Assalamu alaikum. My name is Ahmad Sohail and I'm a student at Rehan School at Foundation Level Batch 10. And today I'll be discussing this talk by Abiha Haider. Its name is Challenging Norms and it is a thoughtful and deeply reflective exploration of how society expectations shape the way individuals think, behave, and define themselves. She begins by addressing a reality most people rarely question. From the moment we are born, we are placed into systems of beliefs, traditions, and unwritten rules that quietly dictate what is considered normal. These norms often influence everything, from the way we dress and speak to the careers we pursue and the dreams we allow ourselves to have. Abiya emphasizes that while these norms may appear natural or even necessary, they are, in many cases, constructed over time by society and passed down without critical examination. One of the central themes of her talk is the tension between conformity and individuality. Abia explains that many people spend their lives trying to fit into predefined roles, fearing rejection or criticism if they step outside these boundaries. This pressure to conform can limit personal growth and suppress creativity. As individuals begin to prioritize acceptance over authenticity, she uses relatable real life scenarios to demonstrate how people are often discouraged, either directly or indirectly, from exploring unconventional ideas or paths, whether it's a student choosing a non traditional career, a person expressing a unique identity, or someone speaking out against unfair practices. The fear of being judged often becomes a powerful barrier. Abia highlights that norms are not inherently negative. In fact, they can provide structure, stability, and a sense of belonging within communities. However, the problem arises when these norms are followed blindly, without questioning their purpose or relevance in a changing world. She encourages the audience to adopt a mindset of curiosity and awareness, to pause and reflect on the beliefs they hold and ask important questions. Why do I believe this? Where did this idea come from? Does it align with who I truly am? By asking these questions, individuals can begin to separate inherited expectations from their own authentic values. A particularly powerful part of her message revolves around courage. Abia redefines courage not as bold dramatic acts of rebellion, but as quiet consistent decisions to stay true to oneself. She explains that challenging norms does not always mean rejecting everything society offers. Rather, it can mean anything thoughtful, intentional choices that reflect personal truth. Sometimes this courage shows up in small ways, like voicing an opinion, trying something new, or simply refusing to follow a path that doesn't feel right. These small acts, when repeated over time, can lead to significant personal and societal change. She also addresses the role of fear, especially the fear of judgment, in preventing people from stepping outside social expectations. Abiha acknowledges that this fear is deeply human and often rooted in the desires to belong. However, she reminds the audience that every meaningful change in history began with individuals who were willing to question the status quo despite criticism. By reframing judgment as a natural response to change rather than something to be feared, she empowers listeners to move forward with confidence. Another important aspect of her talk is the idea of responsibility. Abia suggests that challenging norms is not just a personal act, but a collective one. When individuals choose to think differently and act authentically, they create space for others to do the same. Over time, this ripple effect can lead to a more open, inclusive, and progressive society, one where diversity of thought, identity, and expression is not only accepted but valued. In conclusion, Abiya Heather's challenging norms serves as both an introspective journey and a motivational call to action. She invites the audience to rethink what they consider normal, to embrace their individuality, and to question the limits that have been imposed on them. Her message is clear and empowering. Real change begins when individuals have the courage to think independently, act authentically, and change the norms that no longer serve their growth or happiness. Thank you all for watching. I hope you liked this overview of this TEDx talk. Allah Hafiz.